If you're a young guy and dating feels confusing, inconsistent, or unfair, I want to be very clear about something right at the start. This video is not here to blame anyone. It's not here to tell you that you're broken, failing, or doing everything wrong. It's here to explain why the system itself feels different from what most dating advice assumes. Because when you look online, most dating advice still focuses on confidence, personality, or just be yourself. And to be fair, those things aren't useless, but they quietly assume that the environment hasn't changed. For example, it's like giving career advice from 2005 to someone applying for jobs in 2025. The advice might be sincere, but the environment is completely different. The environment has changed. And when the environment changes, advice that once worked can start producing confusing or inconsistent outcomes. That gap between old advice and new environment is what this channel is about. Most people still talk about dating as if it's a level playing field, as if effort alone explains outcomes, as if doing the right things reliably leads to results. That model made more sense when dating was mostly local. For example, when you meet people through school, college, work, or mutual friends, you weren't competing with thousands of people at once. But modern dating doesn't work like that anymore. Technology, social media, and dating apps have changed how people meet, filter, and choose, even if we don't consciously think about it. For example, again, today someone can scroll through more potential partners in 10 minutes than their parents met in 10 years. Once you introduce platforms, visibility, and scale, dating starts behaving more like a market, not in a cold or cynical way, just in a mechanical way. And in any market, outcomes don't depend only on effort. Two people can put in similar effort, similar photos, similar messages, and still get wildly different results. That difference usually comes down to positioning, where you show up, who sees you, and in what context. Here's the uncomfortable part that most conversations avoid. Attention is not distributed evenly, and this isn't unique to dating. On social media, most posts get ignored while if go viral. In music, most artists say unknown while a small group dominates playlists. In jobs, a small number of candidates get most interview callbacks. Dating follows the similar pattern. When attention concentrates, a small percentage of people receive most of it, while the majority compete over what remains. On dating apps, this often looks like the same profiles getting most matches, while many others hear nothing for weeks. Dating apps and social platforms amplify this effect. They massively increase choice, but they also massively increase comparison. When someone knows there are hundreds of options just one swipe away, they don't slow down and analyze each option. They become more selective, faster. That this doesn't mean women are evil. It doesn't mean men are broken. It means choice has scaled faster than human psychology evolved for. This is where the conversation usually collapses. Some people say everything comes down to personality, while others say everything comes down to looks. Both sides usually sound confident, but both sides are incomplete. They're usually describing different stages of the same process. Personality matters once someone is already interested enough to pay attention. Looks and presentation matters earlier when attention hasn't been secured yet. If you give personality advice before attention exists, it feels dishonest and incomplete. because no one ever got to show their personality if they were never noticed to even begin with. And if a give looks only advice after familiarity exists, it feels shallow. Most frustration doesn't come from being doomed. It comes from applying the right strategy at the wrong stage, in the wrong environment. This channel isn't about blaming women. It's not about coping. And it's not about pretending effort guarantees outcomes. It's about understanding the system clearly. Because clarity doesn't promise success, it just prevents wasted efforts. If you understand how the environment works, you stop personalizing outcomes that were never fully under your control. In the next videos, I'll break down how attention actually works, why apps feel broken, what people optimize incorrectly, and what actually moves the needle. Not hype, not hate, just clarity.